Stagger and impact are mechanics that are shockingly undocumented in this game, and they're somewhat important. It's more important that you understand the basics, so let me just cover that. So, impact is effectively the stagger level your weapon deals. A little Devil's Claw sword like this will never be able to stagger a Crusher. Unless you do something like this, where you build up all the way to max, and now I can just completely bully him with weak spot hits. My weapon does enough stagger now that, well, as soon as the other talent for it comes back. But you might say, so as soon as I reach enough stagger, he will wobble over. But you might be noticing he's not wobbling over immediately, even with all the talents. So what gives? If you've ever played Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, the stagger bar is effectively what's happening here. Every enemy has... The best way to think about this, I'm sure it's not technically code accurate, but this is just the best way you need to think about this. Every enemy has their health bar and a little yellow bar underneath it. Once that yellow bar fills, they take a stagger level. And the more you fill that bar, the higher the stagger level they take. Let me try to showcase what I'm talking about. So I just, without the blessings active, I just don't do enough damage to stagger him ever. But after enough attacks, I can then hit him with a heavy, and he will stagger. See? But if I just do the regular old heavy, if you allow me to build the stacks one more time, if I just do the regular old heavy, sorry, I had to stop talking to get that clip there for a second. But as you see, when you start chaining heavies with all the impact procs, you can actually just straight up stunlock these guys as if you were an Ogren. Because you're constantly dealing so much stagger damage from the impact that they can't do anything. You're constantly filling that bar up and re-staggering them. Now, this is not very useful for enemies that are not Crushers. Crushers. Because if we go to just regular old Poxwalkers here, and we just spawn a bunch of them, you're going to see real fast that it kind of just doesn't really matter. Because when enemies are so densely packed up, and you kill them so quickly, one thing that is happening here that I actually do want to mention, and I had written down here, but I just now remembered to mention it, seeing it in action. If you stagger an enemy, let me try to showcase this. Resurrection? Gil Street Fighter 3 Super? Okay, that was interesting. But let me get like 3 guys here. If you stagger an enemy into another one, they all get pushed back. So let me just build up some stagger here, and let me hit this guy to show you. So I can stagger this guy, or any of these guys really, into one another. What the fuck? Okay, the forbidden stagger level 4, where the enemy just WWE wrestle style jumps to the other side of the screen. Anyway, staggers are weird. They're not really useful. The best staggering you're going to get is from your push block, and it really relegates these to defensive talents. I will say, all the impact from these, the fact that they work on pushes is something, I guess, but you would never take these, because you can always just take something like Wrath for cleave, and then just do something like this, where you just hit everything in the horde all at once. Its crowd control in this game is not good. That is why Smite has always and will always be bad. Crowd control sucks until it's mandatory, and then it's amazing.